Alright folks, let's get on with the final part of the Superhuman Samurai Syber Squad trilogy. And that is Drago's final play option. Step 1 of this is to take him apart. So, how do you take him apart? Well, everything is held in places with clips. Let's take the arm off, just for starters. And as you can see, you have this little clip thing going. It holds it in very securely, but also makes it easy to remove. And the legs have a nice metal peg there, and a good plastic grip on the inside of the leg. You'd think that after all these years the joint would get loose, but it is still as tight and durable as it was the day I bought it. So, for what it's worth, these are very high quality, durable toys. I mean, at least the way that I built them. Take my tripod. Okay, so let's pull this guy apart, get him down to his... Remember when I said that these things were tight? Oh no, after 17 years I have broken everything. Nah, I'm just kidding. They fell on the floor, but they're nice and intact. Yes, durability! Also the fact that the plastic, though durable, it has a relatively low mass. I know a lot of your heavy brick toys, they'll seem quite durable on a display shelf, but then when you drop them on the floor, their own weight will cause them to shatter into a million pieces. Okay, not quite done yet. You gotta fold the crest down in order to open him back up again like this, so that you can remove Jam, Jam. The little guy is Jam, the big guy is Torb. So let's turn him back into little jet mode and fly him off to the side. And of course the laser cannons, they pop out too. So, yes, let's see, let's get off the tripod for just a second and get a good look at what we're looking at here. Okay, so the Dragonzord, I'm still calling him the Dragonzord. This was my Dragonzord. And anyone said, hey, have you got the Dragonzord? Like, I got the Dragonzord. You have a brick. I have the real Dragonzord. So yeah, you get big piece number 1, 2 little pieces, 2 medium-sized pieces, and 2 more little pieces. Yes. Alright, so let's get this guy back on the tripod so that we can show how each individual piece transforms. Okay, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Okay. Let's move each piece back in turn. Sheesh, leg. Relax. Okay, so, as you recall, this is the one that's missing a part, so let's do the demonstration on this. You fold this gray piece down, and you fold the cannon all the way back, which causes the fist to emerge. It only emerges part way, and then you have to fold it back the rest of the way. And you of course do that to the other side. And then the leg, you fold that part in like that, pull this piece up, fold that piece back, and you of course do the same thing to its twin. On the shoulders, you close the hands and fold the arms back up into themselves. It should click mightily into place. Yes! Gotta love that nice, hard, clicky plastic. Those clicks let you know that you're alive. And the wing transformation on the back shows its usefulness right here. And you have all the prep work done. Now we bring back our friend Servo. Okay, so he can't be holding anything at this point, and you have to take off the samuraizer thing. Gotta remove that. So you have Superhuman Samurai Syber Squad, and then you gotta imagine some awesome music is playing in the background as you do the conversion. First you gotta point his toe so that it slides in, and you note there is a peg there and a hole in his knee, so that just clips right into place. And the same thing happens there. And you can see the giant boots are already increasing his height somewhat. So let's pull the camera back a little bit so that you folks at home will be able to follow along and see the whole guy. The gauntlets similarly clip on, although there is a thing, you have to turn his arms like this so that the elbow folds inward. That way you can line up the other peg on the back of the wrist gauntlet. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting which way the hand has to be oriented in order to fit in there. Oh, I should have rehearsed this. Get in there, hand. Come on, come on. There you go. There you go. Yes. So, yeah, you get the gigantic gauntlets of laser awesomeness. With that gray part missing, it's actually easier to put on. That's probably why it fell off all those years ago. Gonna have to set up a hunting excursion through all my boxes to see if I can find that missing piece. Because I know I have it. Okay. You see that there's a little... If you look real closely at that shoulder, you'll see that there's actually a slot there. That's so that the shoulder armor can slide on down. And yes, it goes in place with a mighty click, but it does have a little bit of give. Having a little bit of give is good, you know, that which does not bend. And then you put the other shoulder bit on with a mighty click. And then this goes over the top. You can actually replicate the dramatic you gotta move his arms just a little bit out of the way so that you can line that up, and then you put the head on. And there's a little bit of an action feature here where when you push the helmet down all the way, it makes this little crest on top of his head come out a little bit, just because it's pressing down the crest on Servo's head. And you have Superhuman Samurai Syber Squad Phormo. Yeah. This guy's just a little bit more imposing than your average megazord, isn't he? Yeah. And I actually measured. This guy is actually a little bit taller than the megazord too. So yeah, like everything in Superhuman Samurai Syber Squad just kind of one-up the Power Rangers in every way. Again, bringing out our ruler, we have a height of 11 inches. And unlike most Power Ranger Megazord types, this guy has a pretty good articulation. He has a shoulder. He still has elbow movement, and he can totally bend his elbows. Although the armor's pretty bulky, so you can't quite move him as much. His legs are still left pretty free, and he can... yes! Ah! Look at that! Look at that! He could totally take on cool action poses. I'd like to see you get a megazord to do that. Okay, I'm gonna stop making megazord comparisons because it's starting to make me sound like a fanboy. And if you don't think he looks quite intimidating enough, you can go ahead and fold these arm cannons out. And now he's in laser gauntlet mode, where he can totally just where he could totally just shoot the ever-loving crap out of whatever stands in his way. You don't wanna be in the way when those lasers go off. Again, hoping that my camera angle is doing this big guy justice. Yeah. And of course, his hands still have peg holes, so he can still hold the sync sword, or the sync short blade, or the shield and regular sword. He can still totally wield Servo's accessories, except for the except for the Samuraizer, of course, because it doesn't really clip in there. And I guess you can put it in the peg, but then why would he be holding his Samuraizer like that? The Samurai-Zer's not a gun. Okay. Of course, you may be thinking, with this huge, gigantic transformation mode, you actually ended up with a piece of kibble, didn't you? I mean, the jam jet is not used at all. Well, this is about to become the most badass thing you will ever see anybody use ever. All you gotta do is clip in the canard wings, fold up the rear wings, fold the fins forward, pull that crest back up, pull the mouth open, line up the bottom jaw, and then bring out the handle, and it turns into the enormous dragon flamethrower cannon. Yes, you just bring Servo's arm up, and look, if you look right here, that's a clip point. It goes here on this tab. Let's zoom in so you can see the tab. Yeah, see? Right there, tab. So you clip that tab in, and you put the handle in the fist hole. You see it? You see the clever engineering? They knew that this weapon would be too heavy to wield in normal mode, so they included a tab there so that it would be able to stay stable, so you could keep him displayed like this without worrying about his arm drooping. And that's actually pretty freaking brilliant, if you ask me. Don't see a lot of toys with forward thinking like that. And you can see, when he has this thing pointing at you, you know that you have no hope. That is just the biggest and most terrifying weapon that I've ever seen anyone wield. I mean, it's almost as tall as he is. I mean, look, it's from the tip of the nose, it is 10 inches long for a figure that's 11 inches tall. This would be like me wielding a gun that has a barrel length of 5 feet. I mean, this thing is just a massive bazooka of death. And frankly, this is probably one of the coolest things that I own. And here's where you can actually see that the recolor servo would actually come in handy, because you could always stick, like, I could always stick the amp, the green servo, in this armor, and then have Phormo displayed side by side with Servo. Now there was another set of Superhuman Samurai Syber Squad, the Xenon robot, which would combine to create Synchro, which is actually the most powerful incarnation. Sadly, as a 9-year-old boy, I never was able to get that set. Funny story, my mother still has the faded, wrinkled old rain check from Caldor where she intended to buy it, but it never came back in stock, so I never got it. But let's give her points for trying. Anyway, this guy is just too much. One flaw, since the elbow is designed to fold inwards and the wrist does not swivel, that means that he cannot really do much with the sword, because in order to get his arm up you have to do it like that, and then he's holding the sword outward. That is the only flaw in his articulation, and when you think about it, he doesn't really need a sword. He has a bazooka that's almost as big as he is. So I would be reticent to actually count that as a flaw. Alright, so that is the Superhuman Samurai Syber Squad Phormo, which is the ultimate form that I am able to create using my Drago and Servo. And this has been Toy Customizer Wakeangel2K1, bringing you one of my most nostalgic pieces of toy from back in my younger days. And this is where that vaunted ability to spread his thighs slightly comes into play. Yeah, this is Toy Customizer Wakeangel2K1. Bringing you the review of Superhuman Samurai Syber Squad Phormo. Signing off.